No matter how hard we try to avoid accidents or insurance scams, we can't control the actions of others, whether it's another driver making a reckless move or a pedestrian suddenly stepping into traffic. In just a split second, a normal drive can turn into a serious problem, and without evidence, the truth can easily be twisted. That's why a dashcam is no longer just a gadget, but a vital tool that protects you by showing exactly what really happened. Choosing a high-quality dashcam has become quite a headache nowadays because the market is already oversaturated. That said, well-established brands remain, in my opinion, the safest and best choice. In this episode, I'll be reviewing the A119M Pro from Viofo, which is simply fantastic. Why do I say that? First of all, this model is extremely compact and very easy to install. Thanks to the Sony Starvis 2 image sensor, it delivers a true 4K resolution image that's hard to beat, especially in low light conditions. Another important aspect is the price. At the moment, the camera is selling for just $170, which is extremely competitive for a dashcam in this category. Let me first show you the camera and all the accessories that my friend bought so we can install the dashcam on his Skoda Rapid. I will power the camera using a Hardwire kit so he can take advantage of the parking mode feature. All the steps are the same for any car model. First of all, we have the box in which the camera comes. On the packaging, all the main features are listed. We have 4K video, the Starvis 2 sensor, Wi-Fi 6 for fast data transfer with the smartphone app, and many other useful features that I don't want to go into right now, so I don't make this video too long. Next, we have this HK6 Hardwire kit, also from Viofo, which allows you to use the parking mode function without worrying about draining the car battery, thanks to multiple cutoff power configurations. We also have this wireless Bluetooth remote control, but you should know that this camera also supports voice controls. This device is extremely useful because it helps you avoid distractions while driving when you capture an unpleasant event on the road and want to report it to the authorities. You just press a button, the video gets locked, and it's very easy to find later in the dedicated folder. This is the 64GB Viofo memory card, which is enough for a single front camera. The camera is very well protected inside the box for transport. As you can see, it's extremely compact. Honestly, I couldn't believe that something this small comes with so many features and can deliver such great video quality, but I'll let you decide and rate the footage at the end of this episode. On the front, we obviously have the lens protected by a protective film. On the left side, we have a speaker, a ventilation grill, and the reset button. On the top, we have a USB-C power slot, which, attention, is located in the GPS module where the camera slides in. On the right side, we have a ventilation grill, a speaker, a USB-C port for fast data transfer, and of course the microSD card slot. We also have a quick start guide for cigarette lighter power. However, I'll show you how to hardwire it step by step, especially for beginners. Inside the box, you'll also find a sticker meant to discourage aggressive behavior in traffic or potential car break-ins. Next, we have a trim removal tool, a USB-A to USB-C cable if you want to download videos to your PC, although you can do everything directly from the app on your phone. Here we have the long cable for cigarette lighter power and the cigarette lighter adapter with an additional USB-C output for charging your phone. We also have an anti-glare lens to reduce reflections when the sun is strong, a spare double-sided adhesive in case you want to move the camera or install it in another car, and here we have some transparent films that stick to the windshield so you don't mount the camera directly on the glass. These films make removal much easier if needed because the 3M adhesive is extremely strong and often very hard to remove from the windshield. Here you can see everything that comes in the camera box. Now, in the Hardwire kit, you'll find 4 pairs of add-a-fuse adapters for different types of fuses, because some cars use larger fuses and others smaller ones. Not all of them are shown here, there are 2 more pairs in the box. Out of the 4 sets, 1 will definitely fit your car. Here we have the camera with a USB-C end for powering the camera, and the other end goes into the controller that manages the cutoff voltage to protect the car battery. This is the controller, and here we have the wires that connect to 2 fuses and 1 ground point. As I mentioned, one end of the camera power cable goes in here, and the power input from the fuse box also connects here. The wires for the fuse connections are clearly labeled Battery Plus and ACC. Battery is for constant 12-volt power and ACC is for power only when the ignition is on. This way the camera knows when the car is turned off and switches to parking mode with much lower power consumption. Here you can see everything that comes with the camera along with all the extra accessories purchased. Of course, you can also buy just the camera if you want to power it from the cigarette lighter. Let's move on to the installation. To find the correct fuses, you first need to locate the car's fuse box. Its location varies depending on the vehicle. On this Skoda, it's located here. Now I'll use a multimeter to identify which fuse has constant power and which one is powered only with the ignition on. With the multimeter set to 20 volts, I'll place the black probe on a ground point like this body screw and the red probe on the exposed metal part of the fuse. As you can see, with the ignition off, we have 0 volts here. Now we turn the ignition on and test the same fuse again. And here we found our ACC fuse because it's powered only when the ignition is on. You can also look for a fuse diagram to identify the cigarette lighter or washer fuses, which are usually used for ACC dashcams. The multimeter doesn't show exactly 12 volts here because this screw is painted and doesn't provide perfect ground, but we won't use this ground point anyway. There's also the option to take ground from the outer metal of the cigarette lighter. By continuing to measure, you'll find a fuse with constant power, but most fuses are permanently powered. The ignition-only fuse is usually harder to find. I've already inserted the adapter there. Now I'll show you what I did with this identical adapter. You remove the identified fuse, insert it into the empty slot on the adapter, and then plug the adapter into the fuse box. The original fuse was 15 amps and will continue to protect the original circuit, while the 5 amps fuse protects the camera. So, on the left wire we have constant power and on the right wire we have power only with the ignition on. I'll connect the wires, route them out through the side of the dashboard, under the door seal, then under the curtain airbag so the haters don't jump on me, under the headliner, and finally mount the camera. I crimped the connections and added some electrical tape so the wires don't separate while pulling them up to the camera. Here's the cable routing I mentioned earlier. This is the ground screw. It's a good ground source because there was already a factory ground wire connected there. I plugged the cable into the module, which I set to cut power at 12 volts. I'll bundle the excess wiring and leave the module close to the side dashboard cover in case I want to change the cutoff value later. I then removed the A-pillar trim, and it seems this car doesn't have a curtain airbag. If it does, route the cable underneath it. Some people say it could interfere with airbag deployment, although I highly doubt that considering the extreme forces involved. I routed the cable to the camera mounting location, cleaned the windshield, applied the special film included in the box, cleaned it again, mounted the powered bracket, which is also a GPS receiver, and then slid the camera into place. You can trim the film around the camera mount later using a cutter. The camera powered on and detected the HK6 hardwire kit, so it will definitely enter parking mode. To activate Wi-Fi and connect the camera to your phone using the Viofo app, long press this button. By pressing this button briefly, you can enable or disable the microphone for in-cabin audio. The rec button starts and stops recording. If you long press the power for 2 seconds, you'll enter the settings menu. Holding it longer will power off the camera. The button with the exclamation mark creates a locked video that won't be overwritten and will be easier to find in the separate folder. Let's take a look at some of the available settings. You can set the video resolution, bitrate, loop recording duration, parking mode settings, parking recording duration, G-sensor sensitivity in parking mode, parking motion sensor sensitivity, time-lapse recording, GPS on or off, parking GPS on or off, speed unit, G-sensor sensitivity, Wi-Fi frequency, privacy mode on or off, Bluetooth button function, and various video stamps like GPS location, date and time, and camera model. Of course, you can also change the language and explore many other options after purchasing the camera. Let me show you how easy it is to install and use the app. You just need to install the app called Viofo from the App Store or Play Store. Mine is already installed because I have the other free channel Viofo camera in my car. Open the app, then long press the Wi-Fi button on the camera.
Wi-Fi enabled.
Connect to the camera's Wi-Fi and then just tap Connect Camera.
Wi-Fi connected.
Now you have a live view. If you have a 2 or even 3 camera setup, you can switch between cameras from here. From here you can take snapshots. Here you have access to all the recordings stored on the microSD card inside the camera. As I mentioned, locked videos are stored here in case you capture something in traffic and want to find it easily later or prevent it from being overwritten until you reach your destination. In the parking menu you won't see anything yet because I haven't removed the key from the ignition, and under images you'll find the snapshots. Let's play one of the recordings. You can easily switch to full screen and scrub to the desired moment. As you can see in the dashcam footage, you can keep all the stamps enabled from the settings, such as GPS coordinates and camera voltage. I set the HK module to cut power if the voltage drops below 12 volts. Here we have the camera model, HDR enabled, and the date and timestamp. What really surprised me was the download speed to the phone. I honestly don't think I've ever seen this kind of speed on other cameras. Here you can see the downloaded file now stored directly on your phone. And here you have absolutely all the camera settings. In my opinion, it's much easier to adjust everything directly from the app. Sometimes it's easy to press the wrong button on the camera, and since the screen is very small, using the camera itself can be a bit cumbersome. These are exactly the same settings I showed you directly on the camera, so I won't go into detail again. Since it's winter and quite late, the light conditions are extremely poor, but I already know how well Viofo cameras perform, and I'm not afraid to test this model in these conditions and show you the footage. As you can see on my channel, I've tested many types of cameras: universal, integrated, bigger, smaller, more expensive and cheaper. But I honestly have to say that this is the best camera I've tested so far, and I'll tell you exactly why. First of all, it's extremely compact and easy to install. It has the HK6 module for parking mode, which protects the car battery. It offers a huge number of settings. The video quality is exceptional, as you can see, both in low light daytime conditions and at night, illuminated only by street lights. Regardless of the conditions, license plates are easy to read thanks to HDR, the high bitrate, and of course the well-known Starvis 2 image sensor. Look at how it perfectly captures the license plate number even when the headlights are shining directly onto it. The best argument for buying this camera is of course the price to quality ratio at just $170. I don't know many cameras that offer this much for this price. This was my honest review of the Viofo A119M Pro. If this tutorial helped you install your Viofo camera or at least helped you decide whether it's worth the money, don't forget to tap like and subscribe, and if I'm not asking too much, also take a few seconds to leave a comment. It costs you nothing. Until next time, I wish you all the best and safe travels. Bye bye.